The night didn't begin with thunder or screams. It began with silence, too clean, too sharp, too intentional. Ayan discovered it the moment he stepped into the lobby. The chandeliers trembled softly, as if touched by a wind that didn't exist. A single fluorescent bulb over the reception desk flickered in a rhythm that felt almost communicative, like a coded message being tapped out in slow motion. Sarah was waiting for him there, crouched beside the wall, her breath shallow. She didn't speak right away. Her eyes looked darker than usual, hollow, in a way that suggested she had not slept for days. When she finally looked at him, there was no greeting, only a warning. It moved again. Ayan felt a tightening in his chest. Which one? She pointed down the hallway toward the old maintenance wing that hadn't been used in years. The door we sealed, the one that was supposed to stay shut forever. Before Ayan could respond, the bulb above them pulsed violently, on, off, until the entire lobby was strobing like a dying heartbeat. A cold draft swept over them, carrying with it a faint scent of burnt wood. Somewhere deep inside the walls, something scraped, slow, deliberate, patient. They didn't have to say anything more. They grabbed their flashlights and moved toward the sealed door. The hallway felt longer than usual. Each step echoed unnaturally, as if the building was repeating their footsteps a second later, mimicking them. Ayan felt something invisible watching from behind every corner, the same presence he had sensed weeks ago, but stronger now, awake, aware, hungry. When they reached the end of the corridor, Sarah froze. The sealed maintenance door, steel reinforced, padlocked, chained, was open. Not broken, not forced, just open. The chains lay neatly coiled on the floor, untouched. Ayan swallowed hard. Who has the keys? No one, Sarah whispered. Not anymore. The hallway lights died instantly. Everything plunged into a suffocating black. For a heartbeat, the world was soundless. Then they heard it. A wet inhale from the darkness beyond the open door, like a creature tasting fresh air after centuries underground. Ayan lifted his flashlight. The beam cut through the dark. Something moved. Something tall. Something wrong. At first it looked like a human silhouette, but stretched, elongated, warped as if someone had pulled it like clay. Its head twitched sharply, snapping in short, broken angles. When the flashlight hit its face, all they saw were eyes. Not glowing, not demonic, just empty, as if someone had carved holes straight through its skull, leaving voids that absorbed light instead of reflecting it. It stepped forward, and the temperature dropped so fast that Ayan's breath turned white. Sarah grabbed his arm. Don't move. Don't run. It reacts to sound. The creature paused, sniffing the air like it was tracking vibrations underwater. Then it lifted its hand, thin, bone-like fingers, and tapped the wall beside it. Once, twice, a third time. Each tap echoed deeper than it should have, as if the walls themselves were hollow. Then the walls answered. A whole corridor of taps returned the signal, like dozens of unseen hands knocking from beneath the paint, beneath the concrete, beneath the very structure of the building. Sarah's voice broke. It's not alone anymore. The creature's head rotated slowly toward them, not turning naturally, but spiraling, twisting, doubling back on itself until its face was upside down. It took another step forward, the sound of its bones stretching like ropes pulled too tight. Ayan and Sarah retreated, moving backward slowly, carefully, controlling every breath. But then, a phone vibrated. Just a single buzz, and the creature lunged. Its body didn't run. It collapsed toward them, collapsing and unfolding at the same time, its limbs bending in ways that rewrote anatomy. It screeched, a sound like metal tearing underwater. Ayan grabbed Sarah and pulled her into the stairwell. They slammed the door behind them and sprinted up the steps.
the creature's rapid, arrhythmic hands slapping the metal door from the other side. No pattern, no rhythm, no humanity. On the third-floor landing, they stopped, panting. Sarah pulled a folded paper from her pocket. A sketch. A map. Symbols not drawn by her. Symbols she said she didn't remember drawing. "This is where it's trying to go," she whispered, pointing to the central atrium. Something woke up there. Something older than the building. Ayan stared at the map. The atrium had been sealed for years. Tenants weren't allowed inside. The floorboards were rotten, the structure unstable. But now he wondered if that had ever been the real reason. They made their way toward the atrium. The hallways grew darker the closer they got, not because of broken lights, but because something was dimming the air itself. Shadows stuck to the walls like stains. The temperature fell even further, and the hum of the building's electricity sounded distant, strangled. When they reached the atrium doors, Sarah hesitated. "The moment we open this, nothing stays the same." Ayan pushed the door slowly. Inside was a circular room with a glass ceiling. Moonlight poured in, but instead of lighting the room, it bent around something in the center. A shape. A figure. A presence. A woman stood there, her back turned to them. Her long hair drifted as if underwater, floating without gravity. She whispered something, but not in words, more like a reversed recording of someone calling for help. Sarah clutched Diane's arm. "That's not a person." The woman turned. Her face was normal. Perfectly normal. That was the horrifying part. Every feature was symmetrical, flawless, almost too human, like someone had sculpted her from memory but forgotten what real faces looked like. Her smile widened, not unnaturally, but impossibly familiar. "Ayan," she whispered, her voice soft, sweet, calm. "You opened the wrong door." Sarah screamed, "Don't listen!" The woman's hand lifted, and the shadows responded, sliding across the room like living ink, forming shapes, figures, too many limbs, too many eyes. Ayan grabbed Sarah and ran. The atrium doors slammed behind them on their own. The building shuddered. Lights burst. Something began crawling through the walls. The entire HOA building, every brick, every pipe, every silent room, began to wake up. Ayan realized too late. The woman wasn't trapped inside the building. The building was trapped inside her. And now,